Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us for today's Quad Cities COVID-19 press briefing. Thank you for joining us. Today we have Ed Rivers from the Scott County Health Department as well as Janet Hill from the Rock Island County Health Department. They both have some prepared statements they will share with you today. We encourage you to type your questions into the chat and we will go to the questions after they have completed their talking points. So we will go ahead and get started with Janet. Do you want to start us off with your numbers, Janet?
Sure. We have 4 new cases for a total of 684. Unfortunately, today we have a death to report. He was a man in his 60s and he had been hospitalized. So that brings our death total to 26.
In Iowa, the number of cases today stand at 341. Unfortunately, we have another death to report as well, which was listed on Saturday in an individual 61 to 80 years of age. Also, last week, Governor Kim Reynolds announced that testing through Test Iowa has been open to all Iowans, including individuals without symptoms or known exposure to a COVID-19 positive individual. This will increase the number of tests completed in our county, and with that, we could likely also see an increase in the number of positive COVID-19 cases reported. These expected additional positive cases, while a result of additional testing, should remind us that the virus is still around and will remain in our community in the upcoming weeks. We also recognize that individuals may be making the choice to visit local restaurants and patronize businesses in the community. Because this virus is still circulating in our community, we could also likely see an additional increase in the number of positive COVID-19 cases as a result. We each have a responsibility to our community to adapt our actions and make choices that will keep ourselves and others around us protected from COVID-19. We ask that businesses in our community follow CDC and Iowa Department of Public Health COVID-19 reopening guidance when providing services. We ask that members of the public make cautious decisions, that you participating in businesses in our community only when you can do so safely. For those residents of Scott County who have recently been tested or may be tested through the now expanded Test Iowa program and find themselves with a positive COVID-19 test, we have a few asks of you. First, please work with the local public health staff who will be calling to interview you and provide you information on how to keep your family members from getting sick. Ask about with whom you've had contact and let you know when you can resume normal activities. We're helping to investigate the illness, and this is to protect our community from further spread. Second, stay home. Even if you don't have symptoms, you can spread illness. Individuals are guided to stay home using the 10-3 rule until they have been fever-free for 3 days and it has been at least 10 days since symptom onset. This is also to protect our community from further spread. COVID-19 isn't just a thing of our past, it's a part of our present and future. I'll leave you today with a few final words. Make decisions carefully, continue to keep yourself at least 6 feet from others, and wash your hands. A final note, the COVID-19 website, coronavirus.iowa.gov for the state of Iowa, is being updated several times a day now. So the numbers that I may give you may not be the same ones that you see. I've been advised that updating the daily count since our last telephone conference was valuable to some, so I'll post those numbers in the chat with that caveat. When I looked at the website and recorded the number, may be different from when you looked at the website, and you may have seen a different number, but I'll do it because some have found it valuable. Brooke?
Thank you. Now we'll go back to Janet Hill with Rock Island County Health Department.
Hi, we watched with both great hope and great fear over the holiday weekend. First, the good news. We've reported several days of lower COVID-19 positive tests. Even as testing becomes more available, we are seeing fewer positive results in Rock Island County. The positivity rate is one of the main measures Governor J.B. Pritzker is using to decide whether our large region is moving to phase 3 of his Restore Illinois plan. So far, so good there. Now the bad news. We worry about our residents not keeping vigilant. We worry about large gatherings of people who could be spreading the virus. This weekend, we saw huge gatherings posted on social media at a bar upriver from us and another down in the Ozarks. We also worry as we see case counts climb in rural parts of Illinois. Remember, 80% of cases are mild to moderate, and some people have no symptoms at all. You might be young and strong enough to toss the virus aside yourself, but what about the person standing next to you at that backyard barbecue, or the person you visited who wasn't even at the party? Will they be strong enough? We can't let up. The Restore Illinois plan allows for us to move backward. On Friday, we're on track to be able to dine outside in Illinois restaurants. We're on track to get haircuts. I know I need one. And to do some shopping for fun instead of just essentials. If we meet Friday's metrics, our next Restore Illinois goal line is 28 days away. Big changes come in phase 4. If we achieve phase 4, restaurants can open for limited inside dining. We can gather in groups of up to 50. Schools and colleges can reopen in the fall. How Illinoisans react in the next 3 days and the 28 days after that determine whether we'll have a real summer. Please do your part.
Thank you, Janet and Ed. We'll go ahead and go to any questions that you may have. Please go ahead and type them into the chat. We did have one question perhaps about the audio. On our end, it sounded okay, and so we do have the recording that will be posted shortly after we are done here, should you need any additional information or to catch some of the numbers from earlier. But please go ahead and type any questions that you have. Seeing as there's no questions, we will go ahead and conclude our briefing for today. We are continuing to reevaluate how many of these briefings we will have weekly to ensure that our information is still out there, but that we're providing information that's useful to you. So please be aware that we'll be sending out information on that in the upcoming days. At this point, we intend to have our next briefing on Thursday at 3:30. So please look for that information to come out via email to you. Thank you again for joining us today. Have a nice afternoon.